Men, what is the funniest thing to happen to you while having sex? I'll share my story. At the time, my girlfriend and I were 69 ing. Well, she likes me using ice cubes, so I grabbed one, laid down, and let her get on top. About a minute in, the ice cube melted just enough to where I somehow let it slip and went straight into my throat, choking me out for a few seconds. I threw her off me, and she fell on the floor all in a panic. Only a few seconds later I swallowed the whole thing and we were laughing with tears and called it a night. I was going down on my girlfriend and my cat decided it was a good time to jump on the bed and just stand on my bare ass for a few seconds. Imagine feeling two little paws on each cheek and try not to laugh. I was trying to strip in a sexy way and tripped over my own clothes, and the surprise of it all unclenched my bottom and released the fart I was holding in. 2009. When trying to lose my virginity, went round to my GF of the time's house. Her parents didn't know we were together as she went to a Catholic girls' school. Her mom had taken her little sister to swimming, so was going to be gone for an hour at least, all the time in the world. Her car pulls off the drive, so I then enter. 15 minutes foreplay and we're getting ready, making sure we are both okay with this. Car pulls up. Mom and sister get out. Shit. I fly down the stairs, no time to get dressed and have to go out the back door. In the garden wearing my boxers, holding my clothes and shoes and try to open the gate to get out. Not opening. It turns out that the gate is broken and this single mother has never gotten around to fixing it, so it is permanently wedged shut. I throw all my weight behind it and boot the gate through and it flies open. The noise has now attracted the mother and the next door neighbors who think it's a break-in. I am now hiding behind a bin as they've came out the house and are stood at the end of the alley contemplating whether to call the police or check it out. I am quickly getting my clothes on, my GF texts me they're calling the police, it's now or never. I put my hands over my face and sprint out past them, and down the road stopping to hide down the canal. Stayed down the canal for about 3 hours, sat in a bush. All because we had planned to lose our virginity. It turned out the mother took the daughter swimming lesson, but the daughter wanted to go to the cinema instead. They got there and there was nothing to watch, so they came home. The only time that had ever happened in a year of weekly lessons. My S/O loves bringing this up at least once a week. During foreplay, I straight passed out from a hella long day. We hadn't seen each other in about 2 months as I work away from home on a vessel on the ocean. Takes me on average 3 flights to get home from 5 time zones away. Blah blah. Anyways, I get home, we kiss, things heat up, she gets neck and sits on my lap. We kiss some more, do a little touchy. And then I pass out. Ha ha ha. She loves making fun of me for it. She loves saying, you had a hot blonde on your lap and you were that bored of me. Not my story, but my friend told me about a time when she and her boyfriend had gone out drinking. When they got home they started fooling around and he began to go down on her. Well, a few minutes in and she said she just felt his head limp on her thigh and nothing happening. She looked down to find him falling asleep while still between her legs. She woke him up and told him to go to sleep properly. We still get a pretty good laugh out of that story. I was my girlfriend's first for a lot of stuff. We were getting intimate one night and she'd never touched a guy's tools, so she ended up reaching down my pants and grabbing my balls and asked if it was my penis. It hurt, and I grunted out a strained no and she let go. That was 5 years ago and I still. My ex-girlfriend's dog kept jumping on the bed to try and go to sleep while we were going at it. Didn't matter how many times I set her down on the floor, she'd just keep getting up there and lying down. The bedroom also didn't have a door. Since we lived alone, it didn't matter. So I decided that if she wasn't going away, then I'd just anchor my foot under her back to get better traction. The poor dog was so tired she didn't care. Girlfriend at the time and me were having fun, back in early college days. Was back home, never took down my posters from my childhood, so I had a Majora's Mask poster right across from my bed. As she was getting on top, I looked directly at Majora/Skull Kid's eyes and told her I had to stop because I started laughing and went limp real quick. kitten speed, bagging my balls. Kinda late, so this will probably get buried, but I once had a FWB during the absolute height of the Pokemon Go days, back when it first released and everyone was playing. I played almost every waking minute. Well, when new Pokemon pop up on the map, your phone vibrates. So we're doing the deed and my phone is beside us on her coffee table next to her bed. I get an email. It's the same vibration as the Go app makes, and it's rather loud because of the way my phone was sitting on the table. Mid-stroke, my goofy ass just says the first thing that pops into my mind, "Oh, there's a Pokemon nearby." We cried laughing. Had to stop and take a break. I'll never forget it. I was using my hands playing with my wife one night after dark. Eventually, I decide to get on top with her on her back. She has long bangs, so I take my hand and gently brush them to the side so I could see her eyes. She must have seen the look on my face after I did that. We stopped and she goes, "What?" It turns out she had just started her period, and when I brushed her bangs, I left a little mark on her forehead. I embarrassingly apologized, and she went to the bathroom to clean up. Once she gets to the bathroom and sees herself in the mirror, she starts cracking up. And me, still in the bedroom feeling bad, just hears, "Oh my god, you fucking SIMBA'd me." We were doggy style, me on the bed and him standing on the floor, and somehow I slid off the mattress and my knees were on his wooden bed frame, and I didn't notice BC the dick was so good. He asked me, "Do you feel the wood?" But I thought he was talking about his dick, so I was like, "Yeah, you feel so good inside me." And he said, "No, I was talking about my bed frame, you're sliding off and it looks uncomfortable." And I was like, "Oh ha," and I still chuckle about it. My dog started barfing, so I picked him up and ran into the bathroom to aim his head into the toilet. Unfortunately, my roommate was showering and poked her head out to see what was going on and saw me hunched naked over the toilet, flag still flying, holding a vomiting dog. She screamed in surprise and closed the shower curtain, which caused my other roommate to come in and see what was happening. He just said "what the fuck" and walked back out. My ex is very tiny. Like 90 pounds soaking wet and 5 feet 3 inches. One day we're going at it missionary, and in the middle of some real powerful thrusts, I slipped out and jammed my dick her on the asshole. She then ripped the loudest fart I ever heard. This fart probably registered on the Richter scale and made the plates rattle in the kitchen. Needless to say, I couldn't finish because I was laughing so hard. She was so embarrassed because she never farted around me, and mad because I couldn't get it back up. Like, dude, I'm sorry, but it's kinda hard to get horny when your tiny body turned into a foghorn for a second. Was having sex with my then girlfriend and we tried some light bondage. Her hands were tied behind her back. We were doing it doggy style and we were going at it. I got done thrusting and let go of the rope in which her hands were tied, not thinking. She fell forward and hit her face on the pillow on the floor in front of her. We both had a laugh and I felt like an idiot. Edit, thanks for my first award. I tried some light bondage with my BF when we first started dating. I was on my knees giving a BJ with my hands cuffed behind my back. I fell forward a bit and was unable to brace myself, because again, my hands were unavailable. So when I fell forward, he slammed against the back of my throat so hard I immediately threw up on his dick. We didn't plan that very well. Edit, I just got a reward for throwing up on my boyfriend's cock. Since I got this award, I will reveal that not only did I throw up, but since we were newly in a relationship, I was extra embarrassed about the situation, so I swallowed the absolute mouthful of vomit and kept up the BJ hoping he wouldn't notice. Not my proudest moment, but at least I'm a trooper. Was a teenager and my then girlfriend really wanted to try anal. She said, "Put it in my ass." It was only then I realized how paper thin the walls were, because my brother in the next bedroom let out a "holy shit." Mood was killed. Charlie horse in my calf. I started yelling and swearing and writhing in pain. For like 3 seconds she was freaking out, but when I told her it was a cramp, we both laughed so hard it was hard to continue in any serious fashion. Also, we had a full-on "this is 40" scene moment where the kids were both pounding on the door and she basically told me you better finish in the next 30 seconds before the kids break down the door. Less funny in the moment, but funny in hindsight. Had a short fling with one girl a few years back. The first time we had sex, her cat jumped on the bed mid-blowjob. I tried to call it over, doing the whole cutesy here kitty kitty voice, because blowjob plus cat petting equals awesome. I continued to PS for about 5 more seconds when she stopped and said, "Which pussy are you more interested in right now?" I said, yours? She said good answer and took the cat out of the bedroom. Oh, I actually have one. I recently started dating this girl who grew up in a very Republican household and considers herself a Republican. I, on the other hand, am fairly liberal, so we've been working through that. Anyway, one night it's getting heated and we're dirty talking and whatnot, and she thinks it'd be hot to say, "Oh yeah, make me your little socialist slut," and I just completely broke down laughing. It still makes me laugh now. I slapped myself in the balls once when she was on top attempting to spank her. Fingertips wrapped around the ass cheek and hit the sack just right. Still in the early stages of our relationship where we're still trying to impress each other. She farted directly in front of my face as I'm getting in position for doggy. She started cute crying and through her tears she was like, "It's okay if you don't like me anymore," while I was trying to stop laughing. 4 years later we're getting married and have an open fart policy. Post blowjob, GF stands up, wipes her mouth and says it ain't much, but it's honest work. Gave me a solid belly laugh.